It's just nothing as great as starting the day like this, is there? Just to get you awake, like slap right in the face.
Yeah, massive.
What's the tone, man?
3 kilo salmon. What? Round the face.
Why is salmon?
I don't know.
Why is salmon?
Could be a
Sorry,
trout.
my phone is
It's up to
binging
you.
and bonging here.
Okay.
Wow.
Welcome back, everybody, to Andertons TV. Today we are talking about some new toys from the lovely people at Friedman.
We smacked you right in the gob.
Didn't we?
Yeah.
But before we get going, let's tell you a few things that are happening at Andertons. We are giving away stuff every time we hit sort of subscriber milestones. So the big one's coming at 1 million subscribers, where we're going to pick one lucky winner. You can win a Klon, an original Klon.
One of all of you. If there's ever been subscribed, you can win something.
To be totally honest with you, right now, I'm not sure if we've hit 800,000 or not. We may have done. If we haven't, these are the prizes.
Yes.
We will pick one subscriber when we get to 800,000, and you'll win both these Victory V1 pedals.
Yes.
If we've already hit 800,000, there's another prize coming for when we hit 850,000.
And we'll tell you then.
Yes, we'll tell you in another video soon.
We're literally going like that.
Like that. Prizes coming out everywhere. So yeah, like and subscribe. We always use timestamps in these videos. So if you're interested perhaps in seeing what happens a bit later on in the video, check the timestamps. There might be another product you want to see. And lastly, please go buy some merch from the Andertons store.
Because I've spilled something this morning on this.
It's a dirty looking pink sweatshirt. Wear your sweatshirts and t-shirts and hoodies with pride.
Dirty looking pink sleeve.
Anyway, Friedman, Dave Friedman. There was that time, crikey, it must have been early noughties or whatever, where it seemed like all the LA rock gods
Phil X and
had all their
Jerry.
Friedman stacks on stage.
Which was good because Marshall, or not but the big 4x12s and that thing came back.
It kind of was a lot of those Marshall users went over to that sort of Friedman
which
kind
we
of
get
vibe.
to in a minute because that's interesting. A little theory.
And then the Friedman range is kind of, so although it started, I think, very much with a sort of perhaps a Van Halen high gain modded JCM kind of vibe amplifier, the Friedman range has gone more vintage with things like Bucks and Betty, Dirty Shirley. Actually, the Pink Taco I remember being in the range right from day one as well. So Pink Taco is your kind of like just, hot rodded, modern Marshall
JCM
vibe. I say modern, as in 80s onwards, that kind of. The Little Sister is actually it's a little bit complicated here. So the Dirty Shirley the Dirty Shirley came out first. That was its JTM era inspired amplifier. So we're going back to sort of 60s and 70s rather than 80s and onwards. Then the Twin Sister came out, which was basically 2 Dirty Shirleys, like a channel switching Dirty Shirley.
With a bit more modifications on some switching and stuff.
Then there was the Mini Dirty Shirley.
Yeah, but that came before this Twin Sister.
Did it?
Yeah, because you had Dirty Shirley, and then the Mini Dirty Shirley, and then the Twin Sister, I think, when it came out in NAMM. But it's family, complicated family relationship.
The Little Sister is now really just a re-voiced version of the Mini Dirty Shirley. So it's still very much from that sort of JTM era sound, 20 watts, all the same valve kind of componentry that the Mini Dirty Shirley had. Visually very similar, in fact, visually identical.
Yeah, apart from one switch in it.
One extra switch and a slightly re-voiced preamp section, but it's in that kind of Mini Dirty Shirley
Dirty Shirley's
vein.
out.
Dirty Shirley's gone.
Mini
Dirty Shirley's
Mini Shirley's gone, and the Little Sister's come in to stay a little bit
Absolutely.
instead.
So sorry, Shirley. We're going with your sister.
We're going with this Little Sister.
So which do you want to start with first then? I think that everything here, you can buy either of these in the head with the matching cab, or you can buy them in a 112 combo. We'll go through prices and stuff at the end of the video. But what do you want to start with, Pete? Do you want to do yours or mine?
I can definitely start with this one.
Go on, then.
I've always been a fan of these little lamps. If you know one of these, you know the layout.
What have you got there? Bass, middle, treble, master and gain.
And gain, which is the master you really want in these amps. You've got a saturation switch, you've got a S and FAT, so this is like the gain structure. You've got 3 different...
Yeah, you got to dig into that, because what happens, it's not just like less, medium, more. It's the whole... It's they're quite different senses of headroom, compression, all that kind of stuff. So it's about finding the mode that suits the style that you want to play, rather than it just being, you know, have more gain on a switch.
More. So let's just try.
Oh, hello! Now you're going no reverb, no nothing. Even though it has an effects loop,
dry. I'm going in dry.
Opted out.
Okay, so let's just see what we are here. Fat switch. Hang on, sorry.
Let's start that bit again.
Yeah. You know what? Let's just start with everything at 12 o'clock here.
It's the midday settings.
It's the midday settings. I'll go in the middle S position, and I'll do the fat down, sat up, fat up. My God, there's a lot of things going on here.
There's 2 switches. Come on, you can do it, Pete.
I can do this. I can do this.
You're a professional.
Everything at 12 o'clock. And then you use your volume. There's a 1x12 cab with a creamback M in there, 65M.
Yeah, it's a medium magnet creamback, which you see in all sorts of other cabinets as well. It's a closed-backed, really small cabinet, and yet it's projecting bass end like
just
crazy.
I'm in here.
It's so hard not to jam along.
It is so hard.
It's like,
it is hard.
This video will be hours long if I don't restrain myself.
There's no pedals on here, and I've got a pedal board that is worth more than my car ever will be.
Do you know your pedal board's probably worth more than the actual amp?
Well, my pedal board's worth more than my life.
Dive into this concept, because we're going to do the same, I think, with the Little Sister.
Wow.
It's all about the volume on the guitar.
Yeah, it's the Revere thing, isn't it?
There's no channel switching here. It's not about having a clean sound on here and then using the distortion pedal to boost it.
You can do.
But I think it's about getting your lead tone, you know, and then just rolling it down.
Yeah, whacking it in there.
And it sounds fat. And again, I think we should say, if you're a fan of an amp like a Fender Deluxe or a Twin or something like that, it's not that vibe at all. It's not a big high headroom spanking clean sound.
This is all edge of break. Anyway,
see what that S switch does.
The master.
That still sounds incredible.
Who needs an attenuator when you just can do this with a master switch? It's one of the best sounds I've heard in such a long time, man.
Do you know what, honestly, being balanced and criticism and everything like that, actually, I think when you took the volume up there to maybe 2/3, almost 3/4, I started to feel like maybe that's not the right cab for that kind of volume.
Well,
if you really want to go big, I think at that stage I might go for a 212 or a 412.
Absolutely. Yes. Anyway, so you said what? Let's see the
saturation.
Let's just see the gain first.
Okay.
I'll take the gain down to 2. It does sound
good
great.
Sound.
And then if you just put a Dane on it with...
okay.
gives it a good old just a boost. Without, and here's with. Oh, just a boost in there.
I think with both these amplifiers, I would either use this with just a boost or with a tube screamer with no real gain, just for a volume boost.
And I don't have a tube screamer on this board. I've got another board, another board, and another board. But here we go. So let's go back. So I have a little bit of gain on this. That's enough.
Yeah, it is. That's great.
So good. Okay, so the saturation switch is up now. Down. So up is obviously on then, right? Okay.
So that downward mode is less gain, more headroom.
Yeah. Sounds so good, man.
So good.
It's so good, isn't it? And then you got the fat switch. So down is obviously off. I can't stop playing it, man.
That fat switch, I think, reminds me of like a loudness switch on an old hi-fi.
Yeah.
So when you've got the volume low, you compensate with the fat switch.
Yeah.
And then I don't think you'd want the fat switch on when you've got the volume high, because that's when I think the bass end becomes a bit flubby.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go fat switch off. Fat switch. Sorry.
We probably should
Holy
say at this
smokes,
time,
man. Sorry, I'll turn it down.
A head and cab isn't your vibe, and maybe the combo would suit you better. The combo's the same size as the cab, so we're really, any sounds that we're getting out of these will be.
It's slightly bigger, isn't it?
I
think it's slightly bigger. It looks like that on the photos.
Okay, but marginally bigger then maybe, but it's certainly not going to sound worse in the combo than it will in this.
I'm gonna swear, man, but I can't. If you're looking at these, this setup here for the microphones, it's just twisted a bit, so this wasn't in the way of your viewing pleasure.
We listen.
Yeah. So I like that both up. So like this. See how much gain there is in it. That's for us. Okay,
that's for Oz.
So the S switch is the gain structure switch, and it's got 3 positions. So this is the middle position. This is the downward dog position. It's so tight, isn't it?
It's very tight, yeah.
It's the upward dog. Down. Middle. More mid-rangey and less gainy, right? Upwards.
I have to say, you know, for someone who typically would elect to have a clean amplifier with overdrive pedals in front of it, you cannot replicate that sound without, you know, pedals, modeling, anything. It's like, no, it just has to be a really great tube amplifier, guitar straight in.
Man, and literally nothing on. It's the same with the SLO30. Yeah. It's got this sound that it's just impossible where we find out, because there's something coming from those guys. Well,
I mean, don't forget Mike and Dave. It's the same kind of background. You know, they were all modding amps, and they all decided to start their own amp brands off the back of that.
I know. Do you know what? I don't even care if it's clean.
Mike is the OG.
Yeah. He's the OG. Absolutely. And that amp is absolutely fantastic, and it does clean tones like you won't believe. This, I don't even care if it does clean tones or not.
It's not the amp to buy for your jazz licks, is it? Really? It's a rock and roll amplifier. Hey, Dave. Good to see you again. How are things?
Things are doing good.
Good. Excellent. Well, it's good to see you, and thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to tell us about these amplifiers. So we love them, unbelievable sounding amplifiers. But tell me, we'll start with the PT20. What's the sort of evolution? How's that changed from the original version?
Well, okay, so we just decided to do sort of an upgrade, you know, and so what we've changed in the PT20 is that it now is a little more aggressive. The old one was quite a dark amp, actually, for a lot of people. And over time, I'm like, kept changing things for people. Like, okay, this one's going to be a little brighter. This one's going to be a little more aggressive. People want a little more gain, or the ability to get it at least. So the actual just basic circuit has a little bit more gain and is a little brighter and a little more aggressive, a little more open. But if you just turn the gain down to say 7 or something, it's about approximates the gain of the old one on 10. Then we also added some other switches that we did for another retailer. At one time, we added the fat switch, which is great for if you're going to play it in lower gain sounds and crank the gain down and you just need more body to it. And then we added our sat switch to it, which is, yes, even more gain. So it can really go from anywhere from like a kind of a classic, you know, UK sort of amp sound to kind of a fire breather.
Yeah, because the PT20 must be. A little of everything. Yeah, I mean the PT20 as well. That was one of your original amplifiers, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been around for a long, long time. Yeah, so it was about ready for a facelift. You know, time to remodel.
I'm blown away, and the fact that there's a creamback speaker in this cabinet.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
I mean, that is just so good. And I keep saying every single time, like, these amps are so good. And I keep forgetting how good they are. And then when I do it, it's like...
Well, look, all I can say is, fingers crossed, at the beginning of this video, if you weren't interested in the pink taco, that you realised that we had timestamps below, and you could have basically saved yourself half an hour. But but this is what happens when Pete gets into a product. He is bang into that.
I mean, anyway, I'll tell you what, that's good.
Okay, so let's move on to the little sister. We've got much. Yes,
sounds like a Wheeler. It sounds like a Wheeler Walker Jr. song.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so much the same set of controls as on the Pink Taco. So bass, middle, treble, master volume, gain, a 3-position gain structure switch, and a sort of tightness switch, basically. So
so you can.
I knew that was coming.
You cannot not do it.
Let's have a play. Okay, so I've got a Telecaster. I think Pete and I will swap guitars to jam at the end. So that you can, but here we go. So this is much more... We got 2 EL84s in the power section and 3 12AX7s in the
Same with this one, I believe.
Is it EL84s in there as well?
I thought.
Okay.
No,
all right, so...
I only looked at it.
So everything now, we're going for this kind of classic, old, chimey, British.
Yeah, this is the
and
same.
I've got no pedals at the moment.
Same in here.
So just
Same in
guitar.
Here.
I love it.
That sounds so good, man.
I would not probably play the style of music that needs that much gain. I would be more in the Little Sister
Absolutely. I mean,
camp.
it's always been the Dirty Shirley it's
Yeah.
one of my favourites. I use it.
What's the difference between a Dirty Shirley and a Buxom Betty? Is the
Buxom
Betty more
it's the Fender
right.
blackface type thing.
Is there a little Buxom Betty?
There is
like
not.
Is there a little Buxom Betty?
No, there isn't. But I'll tell you what, I use when I do my session work, I use a lot of the times, most of the times, the Buxom Betty for cleans,
right,
and the Dirty Shirley plugin for the for the Universal Audio plugin.
Yeah.
Because it just sounds so good.
Okay, let's do some switches and stuff. By the way, both amps do have an effects loop. I have elected on this to have my a Strymon Flint for some reverb through the effects.
It sounds
loop.
so good, man. It sounds so good, man.
So much bass. There's so much bass end coming out. This makes no sense.
I'm so excited.
Okay, so
why am I so excited about that sound?
Let's do gain structure in the middle, and work
Here
out
I
what this...
am. So up is more, isn't it?
No, I think up is less. I think there's a bit more bass end with the switch downwards. So this is gain structure in the middle.
Dude,
so where's gain
honestly
structure? Oh, this sounds like a lot. Okay, so lots of gain upwards. Less gain in the middle, and maybe even less gain all the way down, but less gain but more bass end. I like the middle, I think.
I'm not sending these back.
Or maybe I like the bottom.
Of course you do. Dude,
gain,
I'm not sending that back.
I'm going low gain here now. Just to sort of
how low
see.
gains do
how
you
clean?
get?
Let's see if it goes clean. Much cleaner.
Wow.
I like that. I mean, that's probably a great one to maybe now start putting some pedals on and stuff. So maybe I'll epic out with the reverb. Maybe, I don't know.
That's too. I'm just. What you could do is say, put the tremolo on here.
Oh, that's a shout. That is a
because it's
shout.
in the effects loop.
That's a good clean sound. I probably
Try and see how loud it goes clean. I just want to. If you go back down here.
All right, then okay. I think you
Give
need.
it
I think you need
a little bit of the
like
game,
a-
yeah, but. Good sound, man.
that.
I'm not giving that back.
I
I'm not
don't,
giving
I
it
don't
back.
need it at this volume, but that I think is where this amp comes into its own. It's that edge of breakup, and then if I want to, I've got a boost on the floor
Oh, you can
here.
boost.
Or I could
that,
use
that
a traditional.
all you can boost pedal is a good boost,
Yeah,
man.
I've
It's
got
a good boost. Wow.
The carbon from the protein.
And we have to, okay, before we send these back, which I'm not going to do, but we need to do, we've got these two versus these two. We have to do it. We'll have to stick this on here and that on here, and then we'll see, you know, because these are the OGs, right? But these, I mean, honestly,
I'm not sure. The OGs would be the big ones of those, wouldn't they?
yes, but these are the OGs of these would be the brown, the brown eye and the big dirty, massive dirty shirley, the really naughty, dirty.
So no pedals now. If I just wanted to be gainy, I think that's all the way up there. Let's
Honestly,
see.
man,
no pedals.
Can I please?
I can't even play. Hang on. So the other one, which I have to say, it was my favourite of the two, but I guess that's probably because I like that sort of slightly more vintage vibe. But the Mini Little Sister is unbelievable, but we were a bit confused about how that had changed because it looks quite a lot like the Mini Dirty Shirley. So what are the changes from that?
So the Mini Dirty Shirley has been essentially discontinued now, and the Little Sister is the new Mini Dirty Shirley per se. The reason we called it the Little Sister was there's one switch that we added to this amp that is on the Twin Sister amp.
Yeah.
It's what's labeled the B switch on there, which is kind of it does two things. It tightens up the circuit a little bit, takes a little of the low end out, and adds a little bit of a high mid bump gain boost sort of to it. And that's what we had in the Twin Sister, and everyone really loved that option. So we decided to make the Little Sister.
Well, look, I have got one other question. Thank you so much for explaining that stuff. And as I said, hopefully, I'm not sure where we're cutting this bit into the video we've done, but people hopefully have heard some of these already and know how much we're enjoying playing them. But I've got one, and again, if this is a trade secret or some sort of Dave Friedman secret sauce, don't let the cat out the bag. But how do you make the amps sound so big when the cabs that they're coming through are so small? It's like, you know, if I take another brand and let, you know, perhaps a really, really famous brand that maybe starts with M and use the same size cab, I just don't get anything like the sort of the bass end or the thumb pad of it. So you typically go for a bigger cab to achieve that kind of sound. But I think one of the things Pete and I have been most amazed with both the amplifiers is just how much bass end and how much, you know, fatness is coming out of, you know, what is essentially a really compact 1x12 cab.
Well, those 1x12 cabs were sort of voiced to be the 1x12, but they were voiced to sound more like a 4x12 in nature. It's a closed back cab with tuned ports on the front. And it puts out a pretty big sound for such a small cab. It's a great sounding cab.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone that even if they have one of our bigger amps per se, you know, you can put two of those cabinets together and just set an amp head on it, and it's very portable then because you're not hauling around the big cab. Even a 212, it's just two 112s. You can put one in each hand and walk to the car with it or something. And they just I don't know. This is all just what I hear in my head, you know. It's that's what I do.
It's fascinating what you can do with that kind of tuning and porting cabinets, because they really do sound spectacular, these. Well, look, I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you so much for joining us and getting up early in the day to be with us. So,
no problem. I'm up.
Hopefully, I shall see you at the NAMM show next year. But in the meantime, good luck with these. Well done. We really, really love them.
Yeah, excellent. I'm looking forward to your video.
All right. Cheers, Dave. Okay. Right. Bye-bye, ma'am.
Bye.
There is a bucket load of gain on both amplifiers, to be fair. It's just... In fact, I don't know what to say.
Mother father,
man. Right.
Shut the front door.
So let's turn this down. A little bit of noise here.
Holy
Right. So we all want one. We all want one, right? But now I'm going to give you the bad news about how much it's going to cost to actually have one.
Oh.
So this is, again, you know, this is American made.
Holy
ported over to the UK. So, you know, are paying a little bit of shipping and all that kind of stuff over here. But it's premium stuff, right? It's designed to be... It's for the pro guitar player, or certainly for the guitar player that's got a little bit of money to burn.
Even for somebody who wants some really nice amp, and because it's got the master volume, you can turn it down in your bedroom.
So they're all the same price, you'll be pleased to know, or it just makes things less confusing. Yeah. So if you want to head, they're $14.99.
Love one.
I didn't mean it like that. So expensive. Well, maybe it's not.
Maybe
$14.99. I'm not sure what that's going to convert to in pounds with shipping and stuff, but I imagine probably about the same. And then if you want a combo, $17.99, and I imagine roughly the same.
And cabs are we're on the same sort of.
Cabs, I don't think are like. Didn't you say that's a runt?
This is a runt cab.
So these are not. You can mix and match cabs.
Yeah.
Links are below. You can go and find out how much everything is. Yeah. Right. Come on.
Anyway, I'm so happy.
Let's swap guitars and jam out. So for the final jam, obviously, Telecaster through the PT20, Les Paul through the little sister, and I'm going to just go back to that slightly less gainy sound.
I'm just happy to be here today. Thank you. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and win some stuff at 800,000, 850, 900, 950, and
a million.
A million.